we're finishing out more of that extension cycle. She's going to focus on, again, retracting the abdominal wall from that position and take a break. And it's extremely exhausting, right? You're feeling the core engaged there a lot, Kathy? Go ahead and move your knees off. There we go. Give yourself a complete break from it. Extremely exhausting on the core when you execute it correctly. The idea here is all we're doing is we're increasing the angle at the hip joint, which is creating more length of the abdominal wall, and now she has to retract the abdominal wall to ensure that that core engagement stays intact. It makes it much more difficult to execute. Let's go right back to it again, Kathy. Again, it's very similar to version 1, but except in this situation, go ahead and lift your hips up, Kathy. More. Except we're not incorporating the hip flexion or the trunk flexion component going on right here. What we're going to do is get away from that aspect. Go ahead and extend the T-spine. So while she's right there, the hips are still a little bit high. You can start with the hips high. Give me the posterior pelvic tilt. She's going to lock that posterior pelvic tilt in, retract the lower abdominal wall, and she's going to slowly just begin to set the hips down while she's holding that posterior pelvic tilt. And you'll notice the scapular positioning here is immaculate, looks really solid. She drops the hips a little bit lower. Give me a little bit more, Kathy. You can drop them even lower. Even lower. Keep going. We're pushing it now. Pull the lower abdominals in. You might even, are you feeling any glute engagement there or no, Kathy? So you might even begin to feel the glute switch on. Keep the abdominal wall going. That's all she's going to be able to take. Great job. Fantastic execution on her part. We're going to do one more set of that coming up. I'll go ahead and take a break. But the key point is here, guys, look for the most part, some kind of it's not flattening. There's still going to be a slight lordotic curvature in the lumbar. You can only flex the lumbar so much anyway, but you're going to begin to notice that from an external vantage point, there's going to be almost like more of a flattening in the lower back. And that neutrality is going to be what ultimately is an indicator that you're in the right place for your core to contract the way that it needs to. All right, Kathy, let's go. Let's try and execute one more time. Again, guys, make sure that you progress yourselves correctly. So again, we get the hips up nice and high. Hips up high, high, high. You can move the elbows back a little bit, Kathy. Right there's good. Awesome. Okay, elbows are